There are always new games on the horizon, but sometimes it's worth taking a step back and giving the classics another go. So today, I am going to dive into 10 nostalgic single-player games that you won't regret replaying in 2024. I'm focusing on games that strike a balance between being neither too old nor too new, somewhere in between. Without any particular order, let's dive into the first game on this list. As a huge fan of Metal Gear Solid games, I had to include at least one for a dose of nostalgia. Metal Gear Solid 5, which came out almost a decade ago, is still one of the best stealth games you can play right now. The story might not be as strong as the older ones, but the gameplay more than makes up for it. Stealth in an open world. MGS can be challenging for new players, which is why the game includes reflex mode. If you're spotted, the game enters a slow motion sequence for a few seconds, giving you a chance to take out enemies with your fists or a gun before they can raise the alarm. It's a great safety net for careless play, but its true brilliance lies in its unpredictability. A missed shot or a reload can spell disaster. Once an alert is triggered, soldiers swarm your position intelligently, avoiding straight paths, taking cover, flanking, and using their numbers to their advantage.
You've secured the target. I'll send the chopper to get you out. Make your way to the RV. You can check the location on your iDroid.
You look well.
Need for Speed Most Wanted was one of the first games that made me fall deeply in love with racing games. But it wasn't just the racing part. What truly got me hooked were the intense cop chases and the epic storyline. Taking down those blacklist racers one by one and watching your name climb up that list gave us a sense of purpose and progression that felt highly rewarding. Sure, it wasn't perfect. I mean, you could go for Underground 2 if you're looking for more customization options to tune your rides and give them a personal touch, but Most Wanted is still my favorite. And the best part? It's getting a full-on remake in 2024. I am totally down for it. Break might not have flawless gameplay, but what it does have is a gripping and mind-bending story with an even better presentation. The action-packed sequences, the cutscenes, and the dialogues all feel amazing and somehow grounded in reality. The whole time-bending combat mechanics combined with environmental anomalies made the gameplay so intense yet fun. The game also pushes you to make tough choices that eventually trigger some event and change the course of the story, which made me replay the game more than a couple of times. So even if you have played the game once before, you might want to give it another shot.
Move around! Friendly down!
Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, is a game that brings back a flood of memories every time I think about it. It feels like just yesterday that I first stepped into the vast open world of Hyrule, but here we are in 2024, and it's still just as magical. I have played a ton of open world games after Breath of the Wild, but nothing beats the freedom that you get with this game. You can explore the world at your own pace, climb mountains, glide through the skies, and do so much more. The climbing mechanic is by far my favorite feature in BowTW. It allows players to explore the game's vast world with unparalleled autonomy, integrating vertical exploration to scale mountains, buildings, and structures, fostering a sense of true adventure and discovery. The ability to climb almost any surface, combined with minimal guidance and the use of a paraglider, enhances the feeling of an expansive, player-driven open world. The game's intricate puzzles and gorgeous environments are still just as fun and challenging. For those who have never played it, which I highly doubt, Breath of the Wild is a masterpiece in the true sense of the word. But if you have, I don't think there's a better game to replay than Breath of the Wild.
Yep.
Half-Life is the GOAT of FPS games because it revolutionized the genre with its immersive storytelling, seamless gameplay, and innovative level design. Released in 1998, it set a new standard for narrative-driven shooters, blending action and puzzles without breaking the player's immersion. Additionally, its robust modding capabilities spawned countless fan-made content and popular spin-offs like Counter-Strike, further cementing its legacy as a timeless classic that continues to influence the industry. Half-Life 1 really pulls you in and keeps you focused on surviving and moving forward without needing a complicated backstory or NPC explanations. Your main goal is to reach Lambda, all set within a connected military complex. Instead of using cutscenes, the key plot points come out naturally through gameplay, keeping things quiet and realistic. The clever level design, with hubs full of problems to solve, makes the game even more immersive. In contrast, Half-Life 2 emphasizes a more cinematic approach with Hollywood-style action. The levels usually follow a straight path from point A to B, and relying on NPCs can sometimes take away from the player's sense of control. While Half-Life 2's storytelling and gameplay are still highly regarded, some players might find its approach less immersive compared to the subtle and cohesive design of its predecessor. That's not to say Half-Life 2 is a bad game. It was groundbreaking due to its incredible physics engine and graphics. Released in 2004, it set new standards with its realistic environments and interactive gameplay, utilizing the revolutionary Source engine. Its innovative use of physics-based puzzles and combat, especially with the iconic gravity gun, added a new layer of depth and creativity, making it a standout title in the FPS genre. If you've never played either game, consider your priorities. If you value modern graphics and advanced engine mechanics, start with Half-Life 2. If you prefer pure, fun gameplay with a straightforward story, go for Half-Life 1. Either way, you can't go wrong with these two legendary games. Of course, I had to include Max Payne on this list. It's a masterpiece through and through. I have played a ton of action shooters over the years, but I've never seen a game quite like this. It's got a unique style that makes it stand out in the genre, with a dark, gripping story, a brooding protagonist, and adrenaline-pumping gunfights. Max Payne 3 keeps you hooked from start to finish. But something that is truly unique to this game is its signature bullet time mechanics, where you can slow down time to dodge bullets and take down enemies in style. Man, I really hope they make a Max Payne 4, or at least remake the first ones.
Being alive were getting worse by the second, and if Fabiana wasn't dead already, I was guessing pretty soon she'd start wishing she was. I was up for one god-awful performance review.
This game holds a special place in my heart, largely because of its unforgettable villain, Voss. Even after all these years, I still can't get him out of my head. He's probably the most badass villain I've ever encountered in a video game. It's been a while since I've gone back to the tropical chaos of the Rook Islands, but now, just talking about this game makes me want to go back to it and relive those intense moments. I have played all of the Far Cry games, but this one just hits differently. It has got a brilliant open world design, combined with intense action and survival elements, which makes it a thrill to play even now in 2024. Whether you're stealthily taking down outposts or engaging in explosive firefights, the gameplay is as exhilarating as ever.
Hey. Holy crap! What the? I'm bleeding!
Mafia 2 is like GTA, but with a stronger focus on the storyline instead of the open world content or side activities. This makes sense because the game wants you to really feel what it's like to live as a mafia criminal from the inside. By emphasizing the story, it gives you a deep and engaging look into the criminal underworld, making for a unique and memorable experience. One of the things that I really love about Mafia 2 is the attention to detail. The game perfectly recreates the 1940s and 50s settings with authentic old school cars, music, and the environment. The voice acting is outstanding here. Joe Barbaro undoubtedly steals the show, but the entire cast delivers an exceptional performance. Listening to Vito and Joe chat in the car felt like eavesdropping on genuine conversations between friends. The superb voice acting enhances the already stellar dialogue. It's clear, charismatic, and punchy, embodying the mafioso style perfectly. While the remaster might feel like a mere HD texture upgrades slapped onto the original game, the visuals hold up surprisingly well given its age. Driving through a snowy 1940s NYC at night is thoroughly enjoyable for the visuals alone. The atmosphere is rich and does an excellent job of immersing players in this culturally authentic recreation of the city. We all love a good post-apocalyptic game that lets you go absolutely nuts, smashing hordes of undead and pulling off brutal executions, and Dying Light delivers all that and so much more. It came out almost a decade ago, and I still can't replace this game as number one on my personal list of best horror survival games. Dying Light uniquely blends parkour and survival horror, creating an experience that's both thrilling and terrifying. I really dig the combat in this game. It feels so satisfying. You can jump off a rooftop and land your axe directly into a zombie's skull, kick them off from a high tower, or pull off insane executions from up close. The options here are limitless, but the real fun begins at night when creepier monsters come out of their dens to hunt you down and you try to spot them with a flashlight. The tension is real. Have been calling Portal games a little overrated, but there's a good reason why these puzzle games are still in the talks. Portal 2 came out all the way back in 2011, and it still looks good as new. This game is a masterpiece of puzzle design, storytelling, and dark humor. That is one of a kind. Sure, the game can be very challenging for a newbie, but once you figure out how the system works, Portal gets super rewarding. I really enjoyed playing this game with my friend. We had a great time and plenty of laughs, and I recommend you play with a friend as well. It's a ton of fun to try out crazy ideas that you both come up with and watch them turn into a hilarious disaster. Portal 2 is a timeless classic and easily one of the best puzzle games that you can play with your friends for years to come.
Blue receives 5. Science collaboration.
With that, we have reached the end of our list. Let me know which nostalgic game you want to replay in 2024 and why. Also, if you enjoyed watching this video, don't forget to subscribe. It means the world to me. Thanks, and I will see you next time